Everything you have learned to this point will help you avoid ever having to experience a dog attack. However, at some point in your career or personal life, you will come face to face with a dog that wants to attack you. When you do, it will be important for you to have the skills and knowledge needed to detour this type of dog and try to minimize your own injuries. In a confrontation with a dog, it is important to know its strengths and weaknesses, as well as knowing your own strengths and weaknesses. Knowing this, you can focus on the dog's weakness while protecting your own. Let's start with the dog. Their key strengths are their mouth, their speed, and their body strength. Most dogs have very strong jaw and bite strength. This is the most dangerous part of the dog. Attacking dogs are also lightning fast. They can close a 10 to 20-yard gap in a fraction of a second. Since they react on instinct, they don't have to think about biting you. If you raise your arm, they bite it before you can blink. Dogs are not invincible. Their weakness lies primarily in their throat, feet, and legs. In an attack situation, the dog's throat is your best target. If you can choke a dog with its collar or anything else to prevent it from breathing, it will release its bite. While dogs' paws have more nerve endings than in the rest of their body combined, striking a dog's paws during an attack will only serve to intensify a dog's aggression. Another vulnerability with the dog is when it is airborne. We will discuss how to leverage this weakness later on in the video. Human strengths are your size, intuition, and your ability to anticipate the dog's moves. We will talk about how you can use each of these in defense against an aggressive dog. Your weaknesses are many where a dog is concerned. There are several key areas on your body that should be protected at all costs from the dog. They include your carotid arteries, your neck, femoral arteries, your inner thighs and groin, and your radial arteries, your forearms. Now that we know the strengths and weaknesses of humans and dogs, let's see how the human, you, can leverage your strengths to detour or at least make the dog attack less effective. Before you even know there is an aggressive dog around, listen to your intuition. Humans have a built-in early warning system that will keep you out of danger if you listen and act. If your gut tells you something is not right behind that gate or around the corner, walk away. If you are wrong, then you will just have to come back another day. If you are right, you may have just saved your life. When you are facing a dog that you think might initiate an attack, you should first use your dominant human posture. Be large, make direct eye contact, be as loud and confident as you can be. Let your adrenaline push you. Move forward, barking the strong commands that the dog has been conditioned to respond to. Get out. No. Get in the house. Go lay down. Use strong gestures to accentuate the commands. As you start to back the dog down, you should be making your way to a position where your back is against some type of barrier. A wall, fence, car, bush, anything to prevent the dog from getting behind you. You should also have or be looking for something to put between you and the dog. Anything that the dog can bite and compress, he will hold on to. This will keep the dog's mouth occupied so you can start making your way to an exit. When offering the dog something to bite, make sure he can sink his teeth into it. Compressing the object makes the dog feel he is winning the fight. If he cannot compress it, he will release it and find something he can, usually your arm or leg. Your tool bag, jacket or coat, or trash can lid would be more effective than a fiberglass-handled shovel or piece of metal. There are some dogs who will not be intimidated by your efforts. In this case, you need to know how to minimize your injuries and get away from the dog. When a dog attacks, you must remember that you are fighting a dog, not a human. If you punch a human, they will not bite you, but a dog will, and will probably bite your hand before you have a chance to deliver a blow. When the attack begins, do not turn and run. Stand your ground and change your posture from the frontal dominant posture to the side neutral posture. This will give the dog less to target and will also allow you to protect your vital areas. If the dog launches at you and leaves the ground, you should spin and bring your back to the dog while he is in the air. Remember that this is one of the dog's most vulnerable moments, so use it to your advantage. Most dogs want something to target when attacking. Spinning your back to the dog when he launches removes all his targets, and he will generally glance off as you turn. Use this time to move away from the dog to safety. If that is not possible, you should try to detract the dog from attacking you by using a defensive item, such as a tool bag, jacket, or other item as a target for the dog to bite. If the dog does get a bite hold on your arm or leg, do not pull away. This will only serve to make the bite tear and possibly sever one of your vital arteries. You must remain calm and focus on subduing the dog. Grab the dog by the collar or the scruff of the neck and lift him up. If the dog has a collar, twist it until it begins to choke the dog. If he cannot breathe, he will release his bite. If he does not have a collar, then grab the scruff of his neck and use that loose skin to lift the dog off the ground. Talk to him in a calm, soothing voice, saying things like, "It's okay, calm down," over and over again. Your objective is to calm the dog and bring him down from the fight. If you fight, scream, or try to meet the dog on its own level, it will just intensify his fight drive. While you are trying to get the dog to release by subduing it, you should be constantly moving to safety, an exit gate, your vehicle, anywhere that when the dog releases, you can get away from it. Once released and safe, you should call for help and get treatment as quickly as possible. Awareness and intuition can help keep you out of dangerous situations. However, there will be times when you cannot avoid a confrontation with an aggressive dog. Applying the skills and techniques in this lesson will help you emerge from that confrontation with fewer injuries than if you just follow your instinct. Review this lesson often and practice these techniques using the dog attack game included with this training. It is important that you turn these techniques into your instinct.